Don't freak me out when I'm not looking.
In 1973, an album came out that was produced by Maurice Gibb of the Bee Gees called Paid My Dues, and it was by a Liverpool singer-songwriter, a very good album it was too, called Jimmy Stevens. He toured with the Bee Gees, and he's back on Merseyside now, and please welcome him, Jimmy Stevens.
Has it got you like it's got me? Please tell me I'm not on my own.
As I took the picture, the ferry boat stuck its nose out of the fog. So I only caught it by, when I started to press the shutter down, the boat wasn't there. And then I got that. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? That's Jimmy. That's in my buddy holidays.
Let's take a walk around the houses.
I think Jimmy's life is a fascinating story. He's seen the world, he's met very, very interesting people, he's lived a lot. And the sad thing to see about Jimmy is that although he's such a talented character and he has so much to give, he never really made it big. He did open for the Bee Gees, but that was it. And I find it sad to see him where he's at now, because there is so much energy, so much life in him today, even at 71, that I wish he would have made it more. And it's beautiful to see how, even though he never became one of the big shots, with the little amount of money he has available to him, he still enjoys a full life. And I find that admirable about him. He's a real hard nail. I mean, as Jimmy for you.
A couple of weeks ago, an album was released by Jimmy Stevens called Don't Freak Me Out. The LP was produced by Maurice Gibb, and among the session musicians involved were Peter Frampton and Mike Kelly. Although he's recorded before, Don't Freak Me Out is a first album, and he's here with us to do a couple of his own songs from the LP. So, a welcome to Jimmy Stevens.
Broadway, 1942, 27 Moss Street, Garston. I love the freedom in Amsterdam, and you can have a smoke of quality and not worry about anybody saying anything to you. It's something that we don't know about in England.
And me and the girl from Denver, we walked on Cavern through the rain, and then we laughed, and then we talked about Denver.
I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right. Clowns to the left of me. That's Jerry Rafferty. Well, but he made a solo album, and he has a song on it called Mr. Universe. And he's saying, you gotta help me please, Mr. Universe. I'm sick and tired of having sand kicked in my face. Please, Mr. Universe. Please, Mr. Universe. And it's absolutely wonderful. Life, folks, in an Amsterdam coffee shop. Can't do this in England, you know. A child, when it's in trouble, can always turn to its mother. And the young in love, when it don't go smooth, can always turn to another. And when children at school can't get things right, they've only got to ask. Liverpool is the pool of life. That's what he says. See? Carl Gustav Jung, 1927. You see this building here?
Yep.
This is new, but before, this was the building I worked in. It was a fruit importers. And our warehouse was here. And wait till you see what the warehouse is now.
Your performance there, right?
Yeah. I'll show you. They have a wall with the names of the groups on.
Yeah, yeah.
Of every group that played at the Cavern.
Yeah.
And my group's on the wall. I'll show you.
Yeah, okay.
Now, you see this place?
Yeah, yeah.
This was my wholesale fruit importers warehouse. I used to have to take the bananas in here, and now it is the John Lennon bar.
Yeah.
This is the Rubber Soul bar. Philly! My friend, the son of my friend.
On the Pete Best Band.
How you doing?
Okay, Jim.
Let's go in and have a look. You're not open yet?
Yeah, no, we're not up yet.
Oh, well, we can have a ciggy, can't we?
And so, when you're in trouble, try not to run to your mother, because after she's gone, you will find out that you never.
Well, Jimmy is a friend of my father's from when he was 16 and goes back to the early days of Liverpool music and beat music.
Was in the beat, got our own brick.
Yes, you got your own brick.
The Beethovens.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And of course you played with lots of famous people, haven't you, since?
The Bee Gees.
Bee Gees.
Yep. Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Yeah, great. Here, all the bands he's played with, Bee Gees, Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Oh, I'm Dave, pleased to be here.
All right, lad.
Stephen's friend of my dad's one of these days. Pleasure.
You want to watch that clip, lad?
Sorry.
You could ruin a guitarist's career.
Sorry.
This is David, the owner of the bar.
What's the ball, the screws?
This is Tommy, our bar.
All right.
Hey,
What's the ball, the screws?
this was our warehouse. And I used to have to carry bunches of boxes of bananas. This lad who bought a share in the Old Dutch said, "Hey, Jimmy, you can play the piano, can't you? You want to go and see my mate's group?" Told me how to get here. And then the next dance is I'm seeing them. And I couldn't believe it, and made me want to get in a group myself, which I did.
Yeah, the Bee Gees and all kinds of famous, played with everyone famous, Jimmy, keyboard player, brilliant.
Great, how are you anyway, Jim? You alright?
Is there any videos on YouTube, Jim? There must be some videos there.
Yeah, the old grey whistle test.
Was he?
Yeah.
Get out of it.
The night I was on, I was the only live person on, but all the rest was on film. George Harrison and Bob Dylan, Concert for Bangladesh, that was on.
On the same show?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Everly Brothers were on. My eldest is 63, he was born, so he's got piles as we speak.
We'll put that out as well.
Harry, are you ready?
I watch them trip to the surgery of the doctor in reverse. With the faces long and the will not strong, they come to feed the curse. Don't go near the doctor.
You get me?
Stay clear of him, children, cause he'll only make you worse. Only make you worse.
You see where the archway finished? That's where my little friends, we all used to stand. Inside that archway there, and we'd watch the Beatles. I got asked to join the group, and we played here. We only played here once, Everybody wanted to play here. You might get signed up like the Beatles did. When you close your eyes and go for it, doesn't matter where you are. It could be the London Palladium or the New York Philharmonic, or it could be a bar. You've got your eyes closed. It doesn't matter where you are when you're doing it, does it? You know what I mean, Harry? This was my group,
Ah, really?
the Beethovens.
Beethoven's, wow.
That's the Beethovens, the group I was in. You notice the part of the wall it's on, we stick out.
Well, I would love to have a brick on this wall. I don't think that'll ever happen for me, but just to see all the names that are up there from, you know, back in the day, from when rock and roll was formulating in the UK, to see all those great names, all these bands that I actually grew up loving or discovered later on. It's really overwhelming. Any band who gets their name on a brick, I'm sure they feel really special, and they should. Cavern, as they like to promote themselves, is really the most famous club in the world. Of course, in large part due to the fact that the Beatles pretty much got their start here. Everybody knows that, especially every musician who does any kind of form of rock and roll. When I decided to bring the festival here in 2003, I knew that we would be able to get bands from all over the world to come and play, because after all, it is the Cavern Club, and all you have to do is mention that, and they say, well, I want to play where the Beatles played. So that's what happened, basically. We've been doing it now for 12 years. Each year we have anywhere between 100 and 180 bands playing this festival in Liverpool at the Cavern from all over the world. You know, you think about clubs and you think about venues that have been part of music history. The Cavern really is one of the first ones, if not the first, that you think about. Having been here now for 12 years and been bringing all these bands here for that long, I can see why. The place is majestic.
I'm one of the directors of the Cavern Club. I'm also one of the performers here. We have such a rich musical history. I mean, the club opened in 1957, so it's 57 years old. We celebrate all of the bands who play the Cavern, all of the big bands, obviously including the Beatles. So we will always celebrate the Cavern's heritage. But alongside that, we like to do a lot of new music. That is integral to what we do at the Cavern. The list of bands who played the Cavern, all the big British bands, the Beatles, the Kinks, the Stones, the Who, Elton John. Queen did their very first gig as Queen here in the Cavern. You might see the next Beatles or the next big artist, all these young emerging bands with their new original music, and that's what keeps the Cavern, you know, relevant today in today's music. I still haven't got a brick. I've played here about 1,000 times. They won't give me a brick. And if you think about an artist like Adele, one of the biggest selling artists of all time, she couldn't believe that she was being inducted on the same wall next to the Beatles, next to Queen, you know, next to all these. So I think it means you're part of musical history.
I love playing the Beatles music. I've been playing it for about 15 years now, probably longer. It's fantastic, and I'm here in the greatest club in the world. Well, it's like asking a footballer, why do you want to play at Anfield? You know, a young apprentice who's coming through. You want to be like Luis Suarez or Steven Gerrard. The Beatles have played here. This is the Academy of Rock and Roll.
15. We're all 15 except for you. You're 16.
It's the best thing. I love this venue.
Yeah, it's a brilliant venue. Like, it's so iconic.
Some of our biggest influences have played it.
Yeah,
obviously the Beatles and like.
It's all about the music, and we just want to play. We want to play anywhere. We've got to dominate the world with our music, really.
Yeah. Keep on moving forward.
Yeah.
Slowly and slowly.
band was formed by me and the bass guitarist in 1963. We were just sick and tired of playing all the rubbish and covers that everybody else was playing, and we decided that if we couldn't write our own stuff, we'd do other people's stuff, but we'd do it in our own way. And that was basically how we got started. And then we started writing our own stuff and had some success with it. And then the band split in '66. I went down to London and joined Alexis Corner's blues band for a couple of years, and then went solo and had a solo career for 20 years, and then came off the road altogether. I went to Spain for a holiday. We've got a small villa out there. We went out for a holiday, and my old bass player found out where I was and came to visit me, and he said to me, "Why don't we put the band back together?" And I said, "Nah, I'm not interested." And he said, "Really?" He said, "I'll miss it so much." He said, "I really miss it." And I said to him, "Look, I tell you what, I can't be bothered. If you want to put a band together, when you've got a band, come and tell me. And when you've got a band, I'll come and join you." And it only took him 48 hours. 48 hours later, he came back and said, "I've got a band." And we went back on the road, and we've been going ever since. Somebody said to me once, what was the 60s really like? Did everybody take drugs? And I said, "Yeah, everybody took drugs, and we still take drugs now. The only difference is now we get them off the doctor. They're all prescription drugs now. But it's music is what keeps you young. Honestly, it's the best cure for everything. If you're involved in music and you do it properly, it's all you need."
2, 3, 4. I kicked down a wall and came upon a door to a room no one knows about. And when I was through playing in the room, another door came into view. I followed it to
Hard Day's Night Hotel. See? £100 a night. We'd go to St. Peter's in Walton, Tommy, and show them where they met, where Lennon and McCartney actually met. Hey lad, can I be in your group? Or do you think Lennon said it to him? You can join us if you like. Paul McCartney met John Lennon at the garden fete. There's a plaque on the wall round here, Harry. In this hall, John Lennon and Paul McCartney met each other, and John Lennon allowed him to get up and sing with his group. I suppose this is where John and Paul got the idea of a song from this gravestone, because over the road is where they met. John lived just round the corner from here, so I presume this Eleanor Rigby is where they got the idea. In there.
My friend used to live here, number 14. That one there with the village cabs one, that's Robbie's house.
Now where?
This is the one you're interested in here.
This is Paul McCartney's house. But because he lived here, when we lived in Allerton Road, he was able to give me a lift home from the Blue Angel many a time. It's the next block, it's not this block. I suppose initially It was to become a big pop star. Nothing else, I don't think. But nothing is living in my tree. I mean, it must be high or low. It's getting hard to be someone, but it all works out. That is, I think it's not too bad. Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to strawberry fields. Nothing is real, and nothing to get hung about. Strawberry fields forever.
Yeah, that's a good picture there. They're all very stoned on that.
You're a fan, Sophie.
Well, what do I remember about the Cavern? That it was a long time ago, 50 years ago. And I used to enjoy it very much, yeah. But I was only very young then. I was only 15, 16 then, you see.
15 you were?
Yeah. And you could see they were going to be go somewhere. We met them as well once. Only the once. No, twice I met Paul McCartney. I gave him a light. I just lit his cigarette. Said, I gave Paul McCartney a light when you're really famous. Because you just felt they were going to be something. No, they just had this aura about them. They kept throwing up all different bands to challenge them. And they're very good bands and all that. But they're not the Beatles. You know what I mean?
They were one-offs, weren't they?
Oh, yeah. And as John Lennon said in that interview, said when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, it's all about the songs. Great songs, fantastic songs, and all different.
You're working today, but what if the micro tells you must go? What if the micro tells you must go?
It's all the songs that I've written in recent years. I called it Future Torrent because on the internet everybody steals everything anyway, so I thought this will soon be a future torrent. This is how I get around.
Millions now, and getting longer. Dole queues getting longer every day. But if the microchip can replace us,
the only thing I ever got from you was sorrow. With your long blonde hair and your eyes of blue, the only thing I ever got from you was sorrow. Yeah, it was a great song. When I was in the bar was going everywhere on me. The walls were tilting from the corners as well. And as is the way, like, when anything like that happens, you try to walk away and fight it, don't you? So I said to Austin, I'm getting off. So I'm walking along. And I heard a voice in my head say, why won't you listen to me? Fighting it. Ooh. Every really serious, heavy number I'd done in my life collided through my brain. And I was so ashamed of it. I wanted to fall over. Why? Because I'd done such a lot of bad things. And then I heard the voice again saying, how dare you not listen to me? And I got home and I told my wife what had happened. I said, I'm going to go back to church on Sunday.
When was this?
This was in January 1981. I knew without any doubt from that second that he told me and he'd saved me. And I knew he's there. And I want to tell everyone that. And that's what I try to do in the songs.
Leave it rolling.
I don't suppose that you would even know me. But you were all the world.
What are you saying?
Hey,
I can hear. Can you hear?
No, I can't.
Where I live, fell victim to heroin. And one by one, all my friends vanished off the scene. That's all I'm saying. Real good friends who were full of fun and such a joy to see. I've lost their way and now they pay. And it really saddens me. So don't go near the doctor in reverse. Stay clear of him, children. He'll only make you worse. He's a doctor in reverse. And the doctor in reverse is the heroin seller. And that's what the song's all about. It was my normal thing when I went down to London, to the office. I would help myself to a couple of cassettes and a bottle of brandy out of the hospitality cupboard. And this guy seen me taking them and called me a thief and started pushing me about. So I put one on his chin. Well, more than one actually. And when he told my manager what had happened, my manager refused to have anything to do with me anymore. So that was the end of my Stigwood career.
So no regrets landing that punch?
No. I think there was other reasons involved behind his motives. It all kind of went back to that night in Paris when they couldn't perform because they had no heroin. And for some crazy reason, this guy who I punched, and the promoter of the concert, this is in Paris, and they were saying, it's all your fault to me. And it was not my fault that they hadn't been provided with the heroin that they obviously needed. I left the tour the next day. But the thing I want to emphasize here is the name of the theatre was the Opera Comique. And I'd just been in a comic opera.
So please don't let it be. Don't let it be.
So I thought, well, this is crazy. I'll just go back home and sing there. And that's what I've done. And that's what I've done ever since. And it was just as interesting as going around doing big concerts, because when you do a big concert and then you move on to the next town, you never get to know the people you've done it to. Whereas when you're playing locally and you're playing there on a resident basis, you get to know them and they get to know you, and it's a mutual love thing then, and it lasted for years.
I love you, I do.
I didn't bring my camera out today. Yeah, it was like fairgrounds like this, Harry, when we were kids growing up. You see the way you'd hear all these records? Well, we'd hear the latest records at the fairgrounds, and it was pumping out and taking it all in. And for me, that I associate fairgrounds with learning hit records, but also at these fairgrounds, as a young lad, you first became aware of pretty girls in dresses, showing their legs off and all that. See the joy on them kids' faces. He's got as much joy on his face as the kids he's spinning around when he's doing it.
I know, isn't it beautiful?
Isn't it?
You gonna get on there?
These days, I do my dancing in the chair.
Yeah.
No, I don't fear death. Death is the beginning of forever. That's what I believe. That's what God's promise is. I get a buzz from what the people are feeling. You know, you move the people and it goes out from me to them and it comes back from them to me.
She had the bright lights shining in her hair. She told me about her home in Denver, and then I told her I was from there. And me and the girl from Denver Done carrying through the rain. And then we laughed, and then we talked about Denver until the morning came. And I did, yeah, once again. Those in love, yeah, you know what I mean.
Originally we were with Seven, I think, and the woman who is the name giver of the band, Wilma, passed away. So all of a sudden it's not so much a band, not the Wilmas anymore. And then for a little bit we performed under another name with an accordion player. But he died too, so we changed that again and we ended up with 5 sad men. And then slowly it became a new spirit, and then we got the mandolin player, Louis, with it. And then we got 2 women singers again. And all of a sudden it was like, hey, we're back where we were. We are the Wilmas. And that's what we are doing now. That's what you saw. So we're happy to be with the 9 of us and being alive and just play some music. Bless the day.
I finished playing in the North Star pub. Got all the equipment into the car, drove home, got it into the house, carried it in. When I went to bed, fell asleep. I had the stroke while I was in my sleep, and I had to get out of bed because nothing worked, and get on my backside and go down the stairs one step at a time and ask my wife to ring an ambulance. When I got into the hospital, they said, yes, you've had a stroke, but do you know you're a diabetic? I said, no, I didn't know I was a diabetic. And they said, well, that's what's given you the stroke, because your blood sugar count is 19 and it should only be 6 or 7. And I went, oh. I've been wobbling ever since August 2010. If I really concentrate on the wobble and it goes, the minute my mind thinks of anything else, the wobble comes back. Oh, I can't play. This hand can't play like it used to play, and it hits the wrong notes and things like that. Well, I can still write songs, and when the song comes to me, I never sit down to write a song. They just sort of come into my mind.
We walked right on there through the rain, and then we laughed again, and then we talked again about Denver until the morning came and got it dead, yeah, once again. Girl from Denver.
So this is why we say goodbye. Jimbo is saying goodbye. Goodbye. Adios, amigos. Au revoir. Bonne chance.
I should have gone and read the signs, because the tears that you don't see are the tears behind my eyes, and they're the tears that kept the skies so well from you. I gotta get to you again if it takes up a whole year long. Lady, gotta make it right with you. Need to go and right all them wrongs, because the tears that you don't see are the tears behind my eyes, and they're the tears that have kept the skies so well from you. Loving you is what you did not get from me. Loving you is what you're gonna get now. Just you wait, just you wait and you see. Oh, I guess this could be the end. I think you've really gone this time. I won't get no more of your loving. I should have gone and read the signs.
It was an in place for rock people. So, and you never knew who you were going to meet when you went in it, you know. I spotted the Chaz Chandler from the Animals group walk in with this big black fella, frizzy hair. The next thing is, this fella gets up on the stage and he just blew the place apart, and that was it. That was my introduction to Jimi Hendrix. So well from you, and I've done it now. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. Yeah, na na na.
Thank you very much, Jimmy Stevens.